My name is Dr. Franklin Hall. In 2013, I had a run-in with the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. On that fateful day, I was dropped into a big old pile of goo. And this was implied to be my origin story, because I have spent many decades in the comic books as a formidable foe of the Avengers. However, as of this moment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I am still inside of that goo. I have been forever trapped, and my origin story hasn't even finished. My permanently postponed vilification has caused me to be even more appreciative of those who were lucky enough to actually become villains in all kinds of live-action media. However, I realize something about these individuals. They have gone through a lot of trauma in their lives. This can be some life-changing things, and who knows what kinds of ramifications this will leave on their psyche. I have put together this new show in the effort of helping them through this process, helping them recover from their experiences. Everyone talks about the defeat, but no one talks about what happens next. And it is time for that to be uncovered. This is Post-Defeat! In summer of 2013, General Zod was viciously killed in cold blood. Okay, there is a very good reason for it, but it was stupid how they set that up. Regardless, his death sparked outrage across the entire world. It was a huge thing of controversy. Later that year, in the winter of 2013, I hired a voodoo witch doctor by the name of Papa Midnight to resurrect all of the supervillains who I wanted for a particular reason. And that reason was to review movies with me. And I greatly prospered from this. In fact, one of those supervillains who I resurrected actually got his own spin-off. But alas, out of all these resurrected villains, there was one who was very apprehensive of the whole thing. And that was General Zod. Especially because his neck was all broken and it really hurt all the time like hell. But then matters were made even worse, because 3 years after his untimely demise and his untimely resurrection in my hands, he was resurrected twice! Yes, twice! The year was 2016, the month was March, and the culprit was Lex Luthor. Although there has been a conspiracy theory that this might not be Lex Luthor. Some say that it's actually Lex Luthor's son. Others say that he's actually Lex Luthor's nephew, Lenny Luthor, from Superman 4. That is the theory that I go with to this very day. But either way you spin it, he was responsible for bringing back Zod to life, even though my voodoo buddy already did that. The result of being brought back to life in 2 different ways caused a horrible mishap to happen. General Zod was transformed into something completely different, a complete separate entity from what we saw him before. So separate that they're even completely different characters in the comic books. Zod is no longer the villain we once knew. He is no longer my buddy who stuck by my side as I reviewed the likes of Pompeii, Unbroken, and Mission Impossible 5. But maybe, just maybe, somewhere in this new form is my old buddy, still there, still wanting to review movies with me. But there's only one way to find out, with an in-depth interview. This is the Doomsday Story. hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? How's it going, buddy? Do you remember me? Do you remember me? You used to review movies with me. Do you remember?
Graviton, why are we even doing this?
Oh, he said my name. Oh, he does remember me. Oh, but it's still a process. We still have to make him remember more things.
I remember everything.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I remember everything. This is not necessary, okay? I remember you. I remember those shitty movies you made me sit through and talk about. I remember all of it.
Well, Mission Impossible 5 wasn't that bad. I mean, sure, Pompeii and Unbroken, yeah, definitely. Those were shit. But not the Mission Impossible 5. That was adequate.
Listen, Graviton, I thought that this transformation would mean that you would back the fuck off.
No, Zod. No, I still accept you for who you are.
Well, I don't accept you for who you are.
Maybe your temper is just a side effect. It's just a side effect from your new transformation. So I just want to let you know that I still see you as the man who I saw you before. Okay, this has changed nothing in our relationship. I still respect you as the man you once was, because you are still that man. Okay, even though you're a big blooby blobby thing that you are right now.
Oh, gee, thanks. This really makes me feel better. It just definitely makes me feel better that I have to look like this now.
See, you're coming to accept your new form.
No, I'm not. Look at me. Just look at me. Just look at me. What the fuck happened to me? I mean, seriously, what the fuck?
Now, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself for this, Zod. Don't blame yourself.
I'm not blaming myself. I'm blaming stupid Lex Luthor.
That's not Lex Luthor.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I'm pretty sure that's Lenny Luthor. That's definitely Lenny Luthor.
Okay, it's just that, well, I mean, they shaved his head. Once he was taken to jail, they shaved off his luscious blonde locks. Why would they do that if it wasn't to make him legitimately the official Luthor?
You do have a point. Plus, if his father or uncle turns out to be Lex the whole time, the real Lex, it would feel kind of pointless by now, because he's basically done everything that regular Lex would do. You might as well keep him as Lex.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you have opened my eyes, Zod, but I will continue to refer to him as Lenny Luthor for comedic effect.
Okay, fine. Why don't you interview him?
It was a good question. How come I did not interview Lex Luthor or Lenny Luthor instead of Zod Day? Well, the reason why was because Lenny Luthor is currently unavailable for questioning. And when he is, he only says this.
He's coming! He's coming! He's coming! I won't say who it is, but he's coming! Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, I'm not subtle at all! What is subtlety? What is subtlety? I have no idea what that is! Ding, 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 ding.
So I just want you to walk me through it. Walk me through your experience. If you're okay with talking about that, are you okay with talking about it?
I guess so. I guess I'm all right with discussing why I look like this now.
Yes. You just need to you just need to talk it out. Just talk it out.
All right, fine. I guess it started when Superman snapped my neck.
Yes. That was a really big thing that happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was stupid too. And that's what started a domino effect. I think. I would like to think that my death was what started this huge uproar against Superman.
Well, it kinda wasn't. Sorry to break it to you, Doomsday, but it seems like what started this was the horrible genocide of Metropolis. Just like 14 9/11s that happened all at once. That's what started the big controversy around Superman.
Ah, right, that's what started it. And it was so big that it even affected Batman, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And what happened, interesting enough that you mentioned this, what happened was something that I thought was really inspirational to happen. It was really fantastic. Do you agree that it was fantastic?
Yes, I thought it was great. All these villains didn't have to worry about fighting the superheroes anymore, because the heroes were fighting themselves.
Yes. In fact, I heard that this is actually happening a lot lately. The superheroes are fighting each other instead of us. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, that means that we get to do whatever the hell we want, including KG Beast. Ah, boy, that guy.
Yes, KG Beast. A beloved supervillain from the comic books, unless you're a mainstream guy, so you probably have no idea who the fuck this is. But if you do know who he is, you would know that he is a staple in the Suicide Squad, and is very much well known as being that one guy who was sort of wasted on Arrow. He's done a lot in the comic books, and it was time for his big screen debut. And he went up in the world too, because he got to work with the best. He got to work with Lenny Luthor. Who knows what would have been in the horizon for old KG Beast. He might have gotten his costume, he might have gotten his cool gun hand thing that he has. The possibilities were endless for him. But then it all fell apart in a horrible, tragic event. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about what happened to KG Beast?
There's no hiding it. He exploded.
Yes, he exploded. Very sad.
Yeah, I think he thought he was Firefly. Had this huge flamethrower and sort of like a pack. He had this huge flamethrower and he was going to kill Superman's mother.
Yes, Superman's mother, who coincidentally has the same exact name as Batman's mama. They both have the same names. What are the odds of that?
Yeah, and isn't it weird that this has been how it is for decades and decades and decades and decades, and none of us ever really noticed that until what happened this month?
Yeah, I know, right? It wasn't until Batman actually met Superman where they realized, wait a minute, we both have mamas that have the same exact name. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's what causes them to connect.
Yes, this is where everything goes south. This is where they started to find a connection with each other. Before, they hated each other. They just despised each other. They wanted each other dead. Especially Batman, after that really weird drug trip he had.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
Yeah, he had a visit from like a time traveler or something who was showing him the future or something. That was weird. Imagine if that happened to me. Oh boy.
Graviton, you fucking idiot.
Oh my god, it's Vandal Savage. What the fuck are you doing here?
I'm here to warn you, Graviton. You gotta stop going to the other set. You gotta stay in this one. You gotta stay in this studio.
But I like the other set. That's where I film Gravitalk.
You gotta stop it. You gotta stop that show, or you're gonna cause the entire apocalypse. I should know. I'm living through the apocalypse right now.
You're just a hallucination. I'm not a hallucination. Heed my warning, Graviton. Heed my warning.
What the hell was that?
That was just a hallucination I was experiencing.
But I saw it too.
No, it was a hallucination, okay? So the battle between Superman and Batman ended when they both realized their mama have the same name, and that kind of caused some confusion, didn't it?
Yeah, people thought that meant that there was this twist that Batman's mother and Superman's mother are one and the same. No, that's not what that was trying to signify.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. It was supposed to signify that they both have mothers they both love, and they were trying to take advantage of the fact that, hey, isn't it weird how both Batman and Superman both have the same mother name? Let's do something with that. That's what that was. It wasn't trying to imply that they were the same person, because if that were the case, wouldn't Batman be all like, who the fuck are you? Are you my mother? Why did you hide from me? Why did you leave? Why did you leave Jeffrey Dean Morgan dead? What the fuck, Mom? Come on now. What the fuck?
And plus, if she still was alive, maybe that would mean she turned into Man-Bat.
Yes, that's another really weird fucking thing that happens during this process. Yeah, a lot of weird fake outs that involve dream sequences happened. Wasn't it weird? Wasn't it really weird how Batman and Superman kept having these dream sequences?
Yeah, first we had Batman fly thanks to the bats for some reason. I have no idea what that's about.
That was fine. That was okay. I think with that one, it was just that one was perfectly passable. That actually made sense. But then you had the one that prompted you to make the Man-Bat quip, and that was the one where Bruce Wayne came to his mother's grave and then popped out Man-Bat for some reason.
Yeah, that was fucked up. What the fuck's that supposed to mean? Is that prophetic?
Yeah, because one of his other dreams appears to be prophetic, because apparently it's in the future or something, but we'll get to whatever the hell that means later. For now, let's focus on the third and final actual dream sequence, and that's the one with Paul Kent. Yes, Paul Kent. And then that's that. Let's end that right there. But the love for their mommies is what causes Batman to do the horrible thing that he does to KG Beast. Isn't that true?
Yes, because he got reminded of his parents. It for some reason put him in this weird psychotic state where he just started transforming into Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah, Michael Keaton Batman. The Batman that's perfectly fine with killing people and fucking them up and horribly injuring them.
And you could argue that maybe he managed not to kill anybody, but with a lot of them, it looked pretty clear that, yeah, I think some of them he did intended to clearly kill them and put permanent damage on their bodies.
Yes. And of course, KG Beast was the prime example of how far he went.
Yes, he shot the flamethrower pack that KG Beast was in the possession of, and that's what caused KG Beast to explode.
Batman caused KG Beast to explode. Weird how the explosion was just small enough for Ma Kent and Batman to perfectly survive completely unscathed, but it took KG Beast. His flame was taken out. Just completely taken out of nowhere. Very sad. Lots of potential that was in that man. Lots of potential.
Yeah, it was a huge loss. Just huge. Just enormous. I mean, it's not the only loss that was because of an explosion.
Yes, right. There was a bigger explosion, wasn't there? And luckily you weren't a part of that either, but you were greatly affected by this too. Yeah, weren't you?
Yeah, we lost a really close friend too. Another really close friend. Just just awful. She was just such a great sport. Just such a great sport, Mercy Grave.
Yes, Mercy Grave, loyal accomplice of Lex Luthor. She was one of the greats. She was Lex Luthor's Harley Quinn. And you would think that in the year 2016 we were going to get both Mercy Grave and Harley Quinn. But apparently all of this was for naught. This only meant the demise for Mercy. And in an ironic twist, there was no mercy for Mercy. And Graves had to go to the graves. Well, even I know that was fucked up what I just said.
So, we all knew that this Wally guy was living on borrowed time. You know, he lost his legs. He was kicked out of the Wayne Tech. He hated Superman. He helped jumpstart the hate for Superman. Just the huge jumpstart for hate. No amounts of Day of the Dead parties where Superman saved everyone was going to help this. No amount of that was going to help. He started that, and even though we knew what was the point of him, we still knew that he was living on borrowed time. We knew that he was destined to kick the bucket. That was a poor choice of words, of course, because he had no legs, so he would not be able to kick the bucket. But you know what I mean.
Yes, I do know what you mean. It was obvious that he was going to perish some way or another as soon as he became a pawn for Lex Luthor.
Yeah, as soon as he worked for Lex, we knew something bad was going to happen. I was hoping that he would be the one who would be turned into this, but you know who wound up suffering that fate, of course.
Yeah, it was you.
I wasn't setting you up to actually say who it was.
Sorry, I'm sorry, my bad, I'm sorry I went there. Let's continue with Wally, shall we?
Yes, continue with Wally, yes. The man who was early established as being Wally, even though he has nothing to do with the Flash, and his last name is not West, so I don't know why they did that to mislead people or something, but yeah. It seemed apparent that he was going to be used for something very dastardly by Lex. But what he did not realize is that it would cause him to lose his life.
Now that's up for debate. It is kind of up for debate as to whether or not he actually knew he was going to explode. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we don't really know that much about him.
Well, to be fair, we don't really know that much about anybody, really. We don't really get to know anyone's personalities here, do we? We don't know that much about Superman. We don't know that much about Batman. We don't know that much about Alfred, Lois Lane, me, of course. But that's a given, of course. But we especially don't know that much about Wonder Woman. Especially Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's something we'll get to later, too. But for now, let's stay on the subject at hand. Either way, we lost a lot of great people in that explosion. Although by a lot of great people, of course, I mean mainly Mercy Graves. Yes, I just felt that it was really unnecessary for Lenny Luthor to force Mercy Graves to be there. I just thought that was really unnecessary. She did not have to be there when Mr. Wally exploded. I thought that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, that was really cruel. It's like, who is Lex Luthor gonna have now? That was just awful.
Well, it was probably so that Lenny, by the way, I still think he's Lenny Luthor. I think it was just so that Lenny Luthor would be able to get another henchman later. Who knows? Maybe he'll get Otis.
Yes, and then he'll force Otis to die too.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably what he would do. He threw Otis under the bus 2 million times in the Richard Donner movie, so he'd probably up the ante here by killing him. I mean, he already did it to Mercy Graves.
That is probably true. He probably would be living on borrowed time if the moment he showed up in this continuity also.
But do you know who else perished in that explosion?
Other than Elastigirl?
Yes, other than her, other than her, and even though she necessarily wasn't a full-fledged supervillain, she was still very much antagonistic, and we really appreciated all she got. Very passionate senator indeed. It was really a shame to see her go, but this isn't the senator who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Senator Patrick Leahy. Yes. Senator Leahy was an elderly man, but he experienced a lot in his life that he lived. He witnessed Poison Ivy stripping out of her gorilla costume. He didn't notice Bane stripping out of his, but maybe he's okay with that. He was invited to the party where he had the honor of meeting a living legend. And he even reminded Joker of his pappy. Just a warm moment indeed. And then he was indicted into the Wayne board, and luckily was not included in the list of hostages that Bane took over. And it was very smart not to bring up Bane's former guerrilla escapades. But this was the public event that maybe Senator Leahy should not have attended, because his life was coming to a close. No more Batman cameos for Senator Leahy. He may still be alive in real life, but I think he's dead in the movies. Who knows? Maybe there's still one Batman movie he could still get to be in. As a Lego.
So, do you think we should talk about, that little bit of a revelation we found out?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should talk about that now. Oh man, this was really unfortunate. I understand that in your universe you have to deal with very few superheroes. Just not that many, right?
Yeah, not that many at all. You know, it's really nice. You know, it's just Superman and Batman, whatever. But then something happened in all this, and it's just really disgusting.
Yeah, they call it the meta-human thesis. And apparently, there's more of these guys lurking around, isn't there? This is really alarming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really concerning. Just really concerning. Should we go through the list of who we found out about?
Well, the first one, of course, is Wonder Woman. It turns out that not only has she been around the whole time, but she's been around before any of us were born. She's been around a very long time. She existed during World War I. And there's photographic evidence of it. I think she was trying to do a tribute to the 2011 Captain America movie, and she's surrounded by all of these Howling Commando cosplayers, one of which apparently is James T. Kirk.
Yeah, that was weird. Although, to be fair, this is World War I, not World War II.
Yeah, but we all know why they chose 1 over 2. Because Captain America. Anyway, she's not the only one. We also have a few more.
Yeah, we've, there's evidence of this Fast guy, this guy who helps people from being stolen, their cash register money, I guess, and he also drinks milk, and, he also has a big ponytail and hair.
Yeah, that was surprising, and also he looks nothing like the guy on CW. I have no idea what's going on there.
I think it's different continuities.
The mainstream audience won't grasp that concept. Maybe they will. Maybe I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, that's not all we got. We also got a couple other instances of proof of these other superheroes that are out there. Really, really concerning.
Yeah, and unlike Flash, these guys don't have a conflicting continuity to make things confusing. One of them was one who resides deep under the ocean.
Yes, that was interesting. A man who resides in the wreckage of a ship with glowing eyes and long voluptuous hair and a big beard, just this big burly beard. Oh my gosh, I think that was Conan the Barbarian. Yes, it's Conan the Barbarian. Oh man, Conan looks like he's gotten a lot of tattoos recently, a lot of tats all around his body, and he's sporting a trident for some reason.
Are you sure that's Conan? I think that's Ariel's father.
Yep, it's definitely Crouton. Okay, so we've got not Grant Gustin, and we've got the Little Mermaid's Poppy, so that leaves one more person.
Yes, we do. And it's a video of Miles Dyson.
Yes, Miles Dyson from the Terminator franchise is working on his latest Terminator, and his Terminator is this torso of a young black man. But something weird happens. For some reason, somehow, Miles Dyson has gotten a hold of the Cosmic Cube, the Tesseract.
I think something that would make more sense is if it was the Allspark from Transformers.
Because it causes the African-American torso to transform into a Transformer.
Yeah, that's weird. I think that was a teaser for a crossover between the Terminator and the Transformers.
Yes. And even though we know very little about these individuals, what we do know for certain is apparently, oh boy, this is extra alarming. Apparently, Batman has every intention of getting all these people together. Oh no! Oh man.
Yeah, that is a really scary thought. That is just a huge scary thought of all of them coming together as some sort of league.
But, however, there is a silver lining to this. There is a huge silver lining to this. There is something very, very fortunate that happened. No matter how many of these meta-humans that Batman is going to get together for some reason or another, at least, Superman won't be a part of it. Yes. I know that you've had a very traumatic experience, Zod. I know that you're going through a really rough time right now. But I think that what happened to Superman, but it was I think that should have been too uplifting for you not to feel a little bit happy about, right?
I do admit it was really tear-jerking what happened. I do admit it was just so great. It made me feel like I was normal again when I found out what happened.
Yeah, let's have a hug. Let's just have a hug about it.
Oh, come here, Gravy.
Oh, doesn't it feel better? Doesn't it feel better knowing that Superman is dead?
Yeah, it does. But we can't talk about Superman's death without talking about my current condition.
I know. I've been beating around the bush. I have to be honest with you, Zod. I've been beating around the bush. I've been avoiding it because I knew that this was a very touchy subject for you.
We were gonna have to talk about it eventually, so let's just give it over with. Let's just talk about what happened to me.
Okay. I'll talk through it, and just feel free to stop me anytime you want.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so there was your corpse. There was your naked corpse. There was your naked corpse given to Lenny Luthor. Yes, I still think he's Lenny Luthor. Definitely Lenny Luthor. Destined to be a part of 2.5 Men. So what happens is he gets a hold of. Is it okay if I say your corpse? Is it okay if I say your dead body?
There's no sugarcoating it.
Yeah, right. No sugarcoating. So he gets your dead body in return for hand feeding a Jolly Rancher to a scientist. You know, hand feeding a Jolly Rancher. Like, here you go. Here's a little Jolly Rancher. And so he has your body now. And Oh man, this was probably a very painful thing for you, right?
Yeah, he uses Krypton to peel off my fingerprints. Oh God, oh man, that hurt like a bitch.
Yes, and he uses them to gain access to the ship. I'm not sure how he knows how to do that. I mean, we know how he knows everything afterwards because he gets fed all of the information from Kryptonian Siri. Yes, Kryptonian Siri feeds him all of the information that he needs regarding Kryptonians. Yes. Something that happens in all of the Superman movies for some reason, where Lex Luthor goes to Superman's hideouts and stuff and gets information from them.
And one of the things he gets information from apparently is...
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
No, I have to do it. I have to do it for me. He takes my dead body. And I'm naked. He didn't even put any clothes on me. He just made me naked.
Yeah, and I think he makes an Icarus reference to you. He makes a reference to Icarus, like you were flying too close to the sun or something.
Yeah, that fucking nerd. That doesn't even make any sense. Flying too close to the sun is a good thing for Kryptonians. That dumbass. So he puts me in a pod. Why did he have to do this to me? Why did Lex have to do this to me? And before he even did it, he poured his blood on me. Ah, that was disgusting. Ah, hepatitis C much? Doesn't he know that could give me hepatitis?
He didn't know, Zod. He didn't know. Plus, I don't think you probably could get hepatitis from him. You know, being Kryptonian and all.
Yeah, that's a good point, but... Oh, man. So Kryptonian Siri puts me in a pod and puts me in the fetal position. And I'm basically rebirthed. Rebirthed into a baby. Lex Luthor turned me into a baby. He turned me into this. A giant baby. He turned me into a baby. A baby. A baby. Why? Why did he have to do that? Why did he have to turn me into a big baby?
Yeah, yes, I do. I will give it to you. Yes, you do look like a big baby. Especially right after you got out of that pod. Especially after you got out of that womb, so to speak. Just this big, greasy, big baby. Just this big, greasy, big baby. Oh man, I do agree. You're just this big, gelatinous, big old baby. This big, with all your baby fat, just big, chunky little jiggly belly, chunky belly, just chunky blabby belly, you know, just this big little jiggly baby, just so, but you gotta admit, you were kind of adorable, just a big old, big giant baby, I just wanted to pinch your cheeks, like, oh, look at the big old giant baby, look at the big Kryptonian baby.
Okay, you're kind of pushing it, Graviton.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry. Oh, shit. Oh, I crossed the line, didn't it? God damn it. I promised myself when I did this interview I wouldn't cross the line. Fuck.
There's no going back now. Let's just keep going.
Okay, so you're a big fat baby.
Yeah, but at least I didn't stay a big fat baby for long. No, apparently one of the new abilities I have is to grow. With each time Superman tries to destroy me, I come back even more powerful than before he packs the punch.
Yes, each time you get some damage, you get stronger.
Yeah, the first time I gained all of these spikes. Yes, I still look fucking stupid as all hell, but at least I look cooler. At least I look a bit more menacing this way than I did before.
Yes, you got huge giant spikes from the comic books, and you don't mind being referred to as Doomsday now, do you?
No, that's one of the positives, I guess, is getting to be elevated up to a to a really iconic Superman villain. Even though, you can't say that Zod isn't iconic either. They're really on par with each other, but it does still feel good to still be needed. Even though it was to be turned into this horrible thing. You gotta admit, it was still nice to still be needed.
Yeah, still be used. I wish I knew how that felt.
Oh, did I cross the line with you? Well, you gotta admit, you did kind of have it coming after what you did with me and the baby quips.
Yeah, I had it coming. So those giant spikes on your muscles, that's not the only thing you gained, was it?
No, I also gained electricity powers. Yeah, I was basically Zax. I could create explosions and I wouldn't even die from them.
Yeah, see, Zod, isn't it great to talk about these things, so you can realize the silver linings of all this, you can realize the silver linings of what's happening right now, right? It's all coming out of the woodwork now, all the happiness is coming through.
Yeah, that does feel great. And plus, the greatest thing of all happened. The greatest silver lining of them all.
Yeah! Superman died. Oh man, I can't believe I'm even saying that. Oh man, it just feels so unreal, right?
Yeah, I know, right? It just feels it feels like a dream. Like one of those dreams that Batman and Superman constantly have throughout the movie. Except, it's real. Superman is actually dead. I can't believe it. This is just so... I just can't grasp myself around that concept. It's just so great.
Yeah, they finally did it. They finally killed Superman. Sure, it seemed like really, really hasty to do it, even though Superman had just one movie previously in this continuity. But still, it just seemed so... just too great. Superman just stopped in his tracks. He doesn't get to be in that league or whatever the hell that is. He just stopped in his tracks and he'll never come back. I mean, sure, they're adapting a larger than life iconic storyline from the comic books, and they're doing it really early, so early that we haven't even adapted any other storyline. So that means that if he comes back, oh god, there's a possibility he might come back. Oh no. If he does come back, oh boy. If he does, that means we can never do that again. That means it's going to be really weird going forward when we already experienced the death of Superman. That already happened. It was like one of the first things to happen.
I guess we're going to have to talk about it, aren't we? We're going to have to talk about the awful thing that happened at the very end of this movie.
Yes. We gotta face the facts. We were soaking in this high. We were soaking in this high of knowing that Superman was dead and buried. But then, they just had to have that last scene, didn't they? Just that last scene of the dirt on top of his grave. Of the Clark Kent grave, not the Superman grave, not the Superman coffin, the Clark Kent coffin. By the way, if Clark Kent and Superman each had separate funerals, because they're still keeping that secret for some reason, if they're gonna have separate funerals and separate coffins, then what's in the Superman coffin? Because we know that the Clark Kent coffin is the one that actually has him in. So what the fuck is in the Superman coffin?
I don't know. Probably me.
Yeah, maybe. They probably crammed you in, which may have not been that too hard because you don't have since you're a big old baby, that means you have no cartilage. You're just a big old flabby baby.
I have bones on the outside, doofus.
Oh yeah, I forget. There is a strong implication at that very end that he's gonna come back. There's no dilly-dallying around it. There's no sugarcoating it. He's gonna come back. I mean, we knew that as soon as he died that he was gonna come back. Right as he was stabbed by your spike hand. By the way, awesome spike hand. By the way, just fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it cool as all fuck?
Yes, definitely. But we do know he's coming back, you know? It's like, and it was a given. Not just because he's Superman, but also because he's Jesus. Yes, he is basically Jesus. Everyone was criticizing Man of Steel for being for being way too blatant on the Jesus allegories. So Zack Snyder decided, you know what? Just because you're complaining about the Jesus allegories, I'm gonna give you even more Jesus allegories in this one. By having Superman sacrifice himself for all mankind, and then he comes back in his grave. Just like Jesus. And you know how this is even more like Jesus?
What?
This movie was released on Easter weekend. Yes, fucking Easter weekend. Don't tell me that's not a coincidence.
Oh my fucking god, you're right. Holy shit. If he was too much like Jesus before, he's all the way Jesus now.
Yes, he's 100% Jesus. Oh boy. I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we'd see him, he'd be like all covered in beard, and he would just have a full face of, he would just have a full bearded face, and Lois Lane was a prostitute now. Just all the works, yes. You think Smallville made him too much like Jesus? It ain't got nothing on this Jesus Superman.
But wait a minute. Isn't there just a little bit of glimmer of hope?
Yes, because after a second viewing, I realized that the scene where, I guess that was Flash, that scene where Flash showed up in Batman's memories, apparently what that means is it's the Flash time traveling from the future trying to warn Batman. And what he's warning him, I guess, is that it's good that Batman wants to kill Superman. That's a good idea. Because if he doesn't, then that dream that we had right beforehand where Batman is wearing a trench coat and goggles, and there's all these soldiers working for Superman, and there's these huge giant bug creatures, these giant big old bug creatures just infesting the whole place. Apparently, and of course we also have the Omega symbol, there's that. Apparently, what I gathered from that is that is a vision of the future.
And oh boy, do I hope to high heavens that it comes true.
Yes, now, let's face it, there is a chance that this will not come true. That because of what Flash said to Batman, at least I'm still guessing that was Flash. I guess so, he looked kind of like Ezra Miller, I guess, but what Flash said to Batman apparently is meant to change the timeline so that never happened. That alternate future never happened. Superman never became evil because in that alternate future he's really angry at Batman, and he kills Batman's helpers, and then he looks at Batman and is like, hey you motherfucker, you let her die, or you killed her. Now, what I'm guessing is that this is an alternate future where Superman never died. He did not die. And because he died in this timeline, that erases that future and replaces it with a new one.
Ah, say it ain't so. Don't say that. Don't say that future won't happen. Come on.
Well, I mean, there is a chance that future could still happen because, as I said before, this movie ends with the implication of him coming back, which could mean that this could sort of be like a Terminator effect, where the whole act of time traveling to prevent something from happening is exactly what winds up causing it to happen in the first place, Flash goes back in time because he thinks that if Batman kills Superman then Superman will never become evil. But what if Superman coming back to life also makes him evil? What if this was something that was always bound to happen? The Flash was never able to fix it. He was never able to fix Superman becoming evil. Because in this alternate future that we shortly view, apparently the reason why he's evil is because either Lois Lane or his mama died. Now, it could be either one, maybe it's both. But at first I thought maybe it was the mama because she was about to die in this prime timeline. However, the Flash does mention Lois Lane, so I'm guessing it might be Lois Lane. I'm guessing that the Flash comes from an alternate timeline where Lois Lane was the one who died in that climactic battle with you, of course. And so Flash is going back in time to prevent that from happening. And who knows, maybe he did prevent it from happening.
No! Don't say that! Just all the glimmers of hope gone.
Now, hold on. Who knows? Like I said before, this could mean, however, that maybe now that both Lois Lane and Martha Kent are safe, that could mean that the timeline will still continue with what's meant to happen, and this time, instead, the reason why Superman is all pissed as fuck is not because of his loves of his life dying, it's because Darkseid got a hold of him!
Yeah, that could be it. I mean, apparently he gets a hold of him in this alternate future also, because that's where the bug guys are from. They work for Darkseid.
Because he gets a hold of the body! Yes, maybe this will cause the timeline to be even more destructive than the previous timeline, because in the previous timeline, he's just mad as all fuck. But in this timeline, Darkseid gets a hold of his corpse instead of just him, which means he could reshape his whole understanding into a villain! Yes, the villain of the Justice League movie could be Superman!
Oh my god, that would be the most awesome thing ever! But wait a minute. That means Superman takes the spotlight from us.
Yes, and it would make people even more pissed off than they already are at these movies for taking dark routes. Because then they would go even a darker route by having the whole Justice League go against Superman instead of Superman being happily in the Justice League. Yeah, that would probably piss a lot of people off.
But hey, still good for us. That means Darkseid either way.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure that's who Lenny Luthor was referring to when he was having that mental breakdown at the very end of the movie. But here's the thing about all this speculation for the future, though. Will there be one?
Well, if there is, then oh boy is DC gonna have to learn from this.
Yes, they're gonna have to learn from their mistakes. Even though the movie is entertaining, especially a second time, that way you expect everything, and that means you can better process what's happening instead of wondering what the fuck is happening there and what the fuck is happening here and why am I being thrown for a loop every 10 seconds. But when you watch it a second time, that's when you get a better understanding of it. I mean, it's still barely an understanding. This film is still a convoluted clusterfuck. This is Batman v Superman Dawn of Clusterfuck after all. So there is that. But it is still something that I think DC should really take a good look at. Take a good look, listen to the criticisms, listen to what people are saying about this, and learn from that. Learn from that, from those mistakes, so that you can make a better future, so that you can do better with these properties, okay? So you can do a good Flash movie, and a good Cyborg movie, and a good Aquaman movie.
Wait a minute, you advocate those meta-humans?
Well, I mean, you can't just have them all have teasers in this movie and not have them all pay off, okay? This isn't 2003 anymore, alright? This is in concrete, okay? If they don't do these movies now, this is going to make them look even worse than if they do release them and they wound up being all shit. Because then they're going to continue to be known as the unreliable company that constantly makes promises that they do not keep. That's what will happen if they don't go through with these movies that they are flat out saying they'll make, okay? Now that it's actually in concrete with this movie, that means they have to do it now, or else they're going to make themselves even look worse. And if they are going to do it, then they're going to have to learn from this, okay? Even though this movie was very entertaining in the train wreck type of way, it's still very concerning if this is the direction they're going to keep taking, which is why they need to sit back for a bit and reassess how they're going to keep going with this. Who knows? Maybe the other movies that are not made by Zack Snyder might be freaking awesome. And maybe that'll make DC realize, like, maybe we should stop making Zack Snyder our love daddy.
I suppose I agree with you. But what does that have to do with me? This doesn't seem like an interview with my experiences anymore.
Oh, sorry, that's just the reviewer in me hijacking this interview. I apologize for that. But anyway, now that I'm done giving my 2 cents on the subject, let's cap off the interview, shall we? Alright, so the experience happened, it's over with. What do you do now? What are you gonna do now?
Well, I'm gonna try to figure out how to get this staff of kryptonite out of my chest.
Yeah, that's still in there real good. Are you okay?
Kind of, a little bit. I mean, it hurts like all fuck, and I can't do anything. I can't even get out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a forklift after the show's over, aren't we?
Yes, you are. You're definitely. I cannot move. I am catatonic. But hey, I guess I'm still alive.
Yeah. Although it's only in this YouTube video and not in the actual canon we just saw.
Well, hold on just 1 minute. If Superman could be able to survive all that, then what about me? I mean, I have more of a reason to survive than he does. I'm more powerful than him. I'm more tougher. I'm more tough and powerful than him. Doesn't that mean I'm more likely to get out of this alive than him?
Well, Doomsday did come back in the comic books.
You mean I came back in the comic books?
Oh, I see what's happening here. Oh my gosh, you're actually embracing your new way of living, aren't you? You're embracing who you are now.
Yeah, stop calling me Zod. I've embraced who I am now. I am Doomsday.
Yes! And hopefully you'll come back to life.
Well, Zack Snyder did say that there was still a lot left to discover about me. Maybe that means I will return.
Yes, and this time you'll be sporting some neat duds. I noticed your pantaloons.
Yeah, like them? Yeah, they're awesome. Isn't it great? I decided to have a little bit of decency, you know? The only reason why I was naked was because Lex Luthor was too lazy to put some pants on me.
Lenny Luthor. I still believe that is Lenny Luthor.
You still keep living in that fantasy, Graviton. I'm living in the DC Extended Universe.
And I'm living in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's let bygones be bygones. So, even though you have embraced your new status as a new supervillain, are you still gonna be my old buddy, my old pal, my old friend?
We were never old buddies, old pals, old friends. Nothing has changed between you and me. We're still reluctant acquaintances. Or at least I'm reluctant.
Then I'll take that as a yes. Yay! You're still my buddy!
God damn it.
So the sky is the limit now for you, I imagine. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Are you going to become another Superman villain?
Why the fuck would I do that?
Well, I mean, you started out as Zod, and now you're Doomsday, and you've embraced that, so why not become another supervillain then? I mean, you might as well.
You're probably right. I might as well just be every single Superman villain ever.
Yeah. Let's see here. Who should you be next? Maybe Mr. Mitzelplick.
Fuck no. That's just being fucking stupid. I bid you adieu, sir.
And there you have it. That was my emotional interview with Doomsday. He has embraced who he is now, and he is going to continue to trudge forward with his new life. If he's still alive in that continuity, if not, he's alive in this YouTube channel's continuity, so there's always that. And let's not forget, there's still a whole lot left to explore in the extended universe. This has been the Doomsday story. Tune in next time on Post Defeat when I interview another beloved villain who has also had a horrible experience regarding a war between two superheroes. Holy fuck, that's a huge fucking coincidence. And isn't that storyline supposed to end with one of the two superheroes dying as well? What the fuck? I'll see you next time on Post Defeat!